Hello, how you doing? Welcome to the Daily with B, the lockdown edition. Today is day 19. As you can see, today I'm gonna start off today with a mask on. You can see where it's the normal kaka or African print, as we call it, laping, or just around because of its because of its uniqueness and how we use it and in traditional things, Mukhai, you know, there is no traditional event or something serious without somebody aparakha. So likewise. So because of Kenya innovation and going with the times that I've been pushing on, there's one of a good friend of ours, his name is Blessing. He is a family friend. He's a he's a tailor. To adapt to such times, he decided to start making, if I may call them, bespoke masks, So wherever I go now, I just go and got myself one today. This one I chose has different variety of patterns, or should I say materials. So let me take it off and show you how it looks from the inside. It's apart from the fact that it's really chic, it's really comfortable, you know. See, it really looks like the whole. There you go. Look at that. It looks like the normal surgical mask that you're going to use, but because of its material, it makes it reusable. So every time now when I go out, when I come back, the first thing I do is I throw it into water. I always have to make sure that I can warmer. And because of the material, it's not going to take long warmer, and it's all good. So what, as you all know, I just got sidetracked because I was so excited with the face mask. As you all know, we start off generally by finding out or just getting to know what it is that you're all doing. But Toby PC today had come here having a teleconference or a briefing. So just talking about what's the way forward with this whole COVID-19 thing. And a lot of people are talking about was self-sufficiency with terms of energy and solar power, because we have so much sun in Botswana. It's about time, with all these initiatives that have been brought up, that we harness our own solar power to be able to power our country, because we really have a small population. And I like to believe it's through harnessing these powers that industry businesses or manufacturing industries they can be sufficient in such times, because imagine when the industry more place the power cut. And then so and Facebook happy, there's this thing that's been going on. How did we first meet? Was I rude to you? I think so. I have some friends who are just commenting about what's in it or no by Bailey. Your more guys and so like, oh, I'm really tired about it, and people are just commenting on it. And then what about some other one who they met in school, but he just made an entire story where they met in prison, blah blah blah. It was hilarious, and I just liked how it was going on, and none the facts. The lie has just so many facts. The innocent poor boy was going on there like a defender, and I was like, that's how sometimes people get caught and even arrested for crimes that they didn't do, because people can just come up with a very elaborate story and just pin it on you. Yeah, but as we've been saying for the past couple of days, that gender-based violence cases have really risen quite throughout the country, and it's a very alarming thing, if I may say that, where the cases just continue to increase day by day. So you were talking yesterday, and I saw a specialist talking about how countries with a female lens have been able to, or dealing better, or dealing with this whole gender-based violence cases better than those who don't have such a lens. And having a lens, I mean having more women in power, women in cabinet, more women ministers, or that whole equality and equity, maybe equilibrium. Those are the countries that seem to have a better approach, or swift to deal with this whole gender-based violence cases that are rising. So that just brought a question about that truly we need more women leaders, because I have two stands to it. First of all, I do believe that we need to have more women in power, but I like to say, look at all companies that even when they pride themselves in women empowerment, but maybe most the demographic a lot of percentage go godimo management, but when it comes to like the board, the whole women shorter, the number of women shorter. But one thing you also have to realize is the age group about what thing. For most of the time, the people who keep where we keep on saying for women empowerment shorter is in places where generation I think in or demographic the people in power are like very old people. So that's when you realize what now I believe for the problem with gender equality, it's not that there are not enough women in power. I just believe there are not enough, it's just that there are not enough youth in power. Because if you put the demographic youth right now, personally I can only talk of the narrative of Botswana. Narrative of Botswana, we have so many empowered women, so many empowered boys. So we have so many empowered youth, but not empowered enough to be at the decision table. So if you don't put them at the decision table, that is when you realize there's always going to be that whole shortage of side thing. Because now I'm all about stop concentrating on, let's empower women, but let's empower youth. Because I believe in my country, when we empower youth, that's when we empower both generations. Because believe you me, I have a lot of empowered women in my life, and generally the things that I've been able to do is because women have been able to help me throughout to achieve those things. But let us just push to get such happening. And then please do tell me your story about women empowerment, and what does women empowerment mean to you, especially such a time, because the time when the better being rikakanya, and how our stance on such things are, because that's when it's through action that we're able to make a difference. I did a course some time back about the understanding the rights of women and girls, and one of the key things that were there was when they're abusers, the reason abusers continue their circle of abuse is because their friends who may necessarily not be abusers just keep quiet. They know it, but hey, I've got this friend, he beats up his girlfriend all the time, and we just let it slide because he's our boy. Or Tabano is my son, he's my brother, he's my something. But if everybody was just to take a strong stance, especially the older generation, because I believe there are so many youth pushing that, but because they're not at the decision table, they don't make much of a difference. You know, because I believe we are the generation to make a difference. But to make a difference, we need to be empowered at the right time. Because imagine right now when we are trying to get in and trying to for the voice of the youth to be heard, and we're 39 or something, in your 40s, another generation has risen up. If an entire generation has risen up, they now are empowered. In the Bible, even you need to use that energy of your youth. So I just like to believe in every organization, in everything that you can think of. Well, put the demographic of the youth. If you put at least one person under 30, whoever it is, to be able to hear what it is going on, the mindset of the youth. Because I've seen even such innovative organizations, some even banks, and most organizations that I've seen that have a youthful vibe to them, they are really pushing, and they are the organizations to want to work for, and they are the change makers because they're being current and they're taking on of the opportunities that we're dealing with. In our country, majority actually of the population is the youth. They need to have more of a voice because they are the ones who make more, like they make up more of this population demographic. So let's continue empowering them. And then I saw France Barre. They haven't closed wine stores because they see them as an essential good at such time. And now people are burning down bottle stores just to break in to have that, to quench their thirst. That thing that's been going on. So it's just this, when you realize how the demographics of so many countries differ. It is hilarious how I always compare Botswana to France and Texas because land-wise they're around the same size. And with the French, our love for wine, or should I say love for alcohol, is, I like to believe, paralleled. And with the Texan, how we love our beef. I might be pescatarian, but that's actually one of the reasons I became pescatarian, because of my love for meat. And I was like, at this rate, I'm not going to go anywhere. Even Steve Harvey says it's the best beef he has had around in the entire world. So I thought maybe, if possible, such sort of leeway would be made to people so that they can be able to quench that thirst here and there. Find a way, like how we're delivering food to people, maybe even alcohol, something like that could be done. Because I've just realized what people are now really getting out of hand because of that. And then also be careful on what you put out there on social media. I saw this, is it UCT student? He literally just put a break-in plan on how to break into a liquor store. He was just talking about where to enter, what time to enter, even how to leave, because where the guards will be at such a time, he knows generally their movement. And he got arrested because he just, per se, was encouraging a crime. So be careful what it is that you put out on your social media, especially at such times when you are isolated and have idle minds. Because after this, people are going to be going through your timelines, and you have to be like held accountable to it. And what have I been doing today? Well, today was one of those lazy days. I just pushing errands here and there and home, and we made some English muffins. Hashtag the papata, as some people call them. And I was talking to my mom about them, and she's like, why are they called English muffins? Because we make them. And then I'm like, maybe it's because they brought flour to Africa. And then you're also thinking about dumplings, how dumplings are just called dumplings, but Chinese have dumplings. They've had dumplings for such a long time. Why don't not really just Chinese dumplings? So then I'm thinking maybe that thing has to be negotiated, or just really looked at to see where things are coming from. Because right now we have so many things, even the German print, we call it and put it as part of our tradition, when we all know it came through when the Europeans came into Africa. And Herero, how they also have that German print, and they put on traditional regalia of people coming, and they put on the extra horns made out of cotton and stuff to symbolize their love, or generally how their wealth comes from cattle. So because of that, I like to believe culture changes over time. The past 100 years, our culture has changed. So yeah, it's time for us to document our culture, because how our first president always said, a country without a history is like a lost nation. Nation, or you see, I'm even forgetting it. Whether history or culture, it's a lost nation, which is true, because right now we are really growing up, and the internet is raising our kids, and the internet is raising us, and we're losing on who we really are. So I'm gonna put up a picture, and I want to see how good you are at spotting the, well, it's a traditional house. So I want to hear how you're able to see and spot the different things. So take care, see you tomorrow, and stay safe, stay home.